All right. In our last video, we talked about the recent findings on how women contact cancer, or how these cancerous cells goes in women, probably after the age of 50 years and above. But now I want to look at something applies to men also, so that it's not like as if you're only talking about women. So we talk about men too. I want to look at what are these recent findings that shows the causes of cancer in men. Like I used to say that when you know the cause of this cancer, then you know how to prevent it, and you know how to treat them. And you see, one of the best thing about cancer for men, either for men or women, is early detection. Like people, and the common cancer for men is this prostate cancer, and for women we have the breast cancer. So we want to look at how the information we have, and how we can actually educate ourselves on how to locate an early detection based on the causes of this. Now, we said cancer is an unusual growth in some part of the body which contains cancerous cells, and it's a disease that have killed many men and women for in many parts of the world. And we have the type of cancer we have mouth cancer, we have esophagus cancer, throat cancer, skin cancer, blood, tongue, lungs, colon, prostate, and others, and skin cancer. But the most common one for men is the prostate cancer. So I don't want to direct it on only prostate alone. I want to see like lung cancer. Lung cancer is also common for smokers, and also skin cancer for people that use bleaching cream or cream reactions and others. But we want to look at some of the common causes. Yeah, you see, like even in the last video, I was like, there are some cancers. You're talking about conspiracy cells that can be hereditary, like can be transferred between the parents and the offspring. So, if your parents have record of lung of this prostate cancer, then you should be preparing yourself. Like an artist, there's an artist that dictated herself early in America sometimes ago, and she just feel like, okay, let me just dictate myself early enough, and she dictated herself, and she saw some growths. I mean, some growth of lumps in her breast, and she have to cut it off. That's early detection, and now she's doing very fine. So what are these recent ways of causes? This recent finding that shows like, okay, these are some of the causes. Then the first one, which you need to know, is that smoking, and smoking contained it contains nicotine, and you see. When nicotine gets reacted with the gastric juice in the body, it gets converted to nicotinic acid, which is not good. And you see, this tobacco substance can lead to breast cancer. It started by having chest pain. Some men, they have chest pain. Before you know it, they have the thick sputum, this thick spit, and before you know it, they will be having issues on there. So if you notice that as a man you're having chest pain, and you're a smoker, you're a chain smoker, you smoke very well, then you need to see your doctor as soon as possible for early detection of cancer. So, smoking of cigarettes, smoking of weed, smoking of shisha, and smoking generally is one of the causes of cancer in the body. And we also look at overexposure to asbestos. You see, asbestos is also it contains some agents in the asbestos that get accumulated in the body and can lead to cancer as well. So if you are working in a site or in a machinery company that produces asbestos, then you need to be careful. You just need to protect yourself very well. And if you're working in a city or you're living in a new site, new areas where people get exposed to so many asbestos, then you also need to be careful, so you don't get exposed to it. The next one is having a multiple sex partner. It's not only for women but for men. Some men, they believe they have money, they believe they can just flex, they can just do a lot of things. But recent findings shows that men are liable to having prostate cancer due to having too many sex partners. Usually when you have sex without unprotected sex. So this having too many sex partners can also cause it, because it can also lead to not only cancer, other sexually transmitted disease like HIV and others. So you need to be careful. And if you have the kind of person that have medical these multiple sex partner, then you need to just do away with them. Then you should avoid. Better to get married and get faithful with your partner. And the use of bleaching cream. This one is very real, in the sense that some bleaching cream contains substance like acronym that reacts with sunlight, like radiations like sunlight, and it can also burn your skin, because some of these bleaching cream contain harsh chemicals that gets into the body and can result to not only can result to skin cancer. But I've been told that not only skin cancer, because breast cancer, because some people uses at least for women anyway, they use this cream on their skin and on their nipples, and it gets inside the breast. So all these things contain very harsh substances that can lead to. So if you are a man and you are so using bleaching cream, then you need to be careful. You need to check some sensitive aspect of your body and all that. And some people used to use oral sex, and I think this is one of the worst thing you can do as a man, or because you're enjoying, you have these fantasies. No, having multiple mouth sex is the mouth the for a doctor said, like, the saliva is not water, it's not lubricant, it's not oil. Then why should you be having multiple sex partners and having oral sex? So research findings also show that higher oral sex can also lead to cancer. I think you need to do more research on that, on probably using Google or YouTube, and you'll be fine. Also, having anal sex also is also not a good method, but can lead to colon cancer as well. Then we also look at exposure. This one is even one of the most important: the exposure to radiations. Yeah, if you look at radiations, I'm getting exposed to too many radiations, not only because of you have microwave, infrared, phone radiations, and we, apart from phone radiations, we still have other radiations like the sunlight, getting exposed to the sunlight for a very long time. So if you are the kind of, you can use suns, maybe like sun, you can get a sunshade or get a cap, and or probably when the sun is blazing too high, especially in the tropics of in the tropical part of the world like Africa, then you can just stay away from the sun a little, and so you don't get, especially if you are light skin, so you don't get reactions from these radiations. And not only sunlight radiations, you also have radiation from microwave. Eating too much of microwave foods like junks, you also need to do with that. You see, there are some metals also that react with, there are some metals that react with with stainless steel probably. So if you want to take tea or cup, why not use mug or ceramic instead of using like metals to drink tea or do something. So don't let us get exposed to some of these things, because some of these things are some of the recent findings that causes cancer. So, and getting exposed to some harsh chemicals, sniffing of chemicals, sniffing of dust, sniffing of crude oils. You know, when you talk about crude oils, all these things can actually lead to cancer. And then you have to eat more of vegetables, more of fruit, so that you don't get exposed to so many. So and sometimes allergies can also lead to that. Is that so? But majorly, you have to talk about radiations and smoking. Smoking can lead to cancer, and the government has said the smokers are liable to die young. So why not do some of these things and be fine? So these are some of the recent findings that shows some of the causes of cancer for men. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like it, share it, and see you in the next video. Thank you.